Roblox, a super popular gaming platform where you can find tens of millions of children playing games at any given time on any given day. But how safe is it? More and more questions are being raised about
It's
predators
actually kind of wild to
grooming
see
and
Chris
exploiting
Hansen
children
again.
on the platform, Roblox. Now, the company says it's taking
And
action
honestly,
to
not
make
for
sure
some
kids
drama.
are safe, but that's not the way it appears to everyone. Recently, at CrimeCon, I hosted an investigative panel taking a look at the actual safety of Roblox and the dangers to children. Among those, I interviewed Michael Schlepp, who was a
Let's go,
Roblox
Schleppy.
prodigy at the age of 10, but was later victimized by a predator and has most recently exposed other.
Oh, I will say I did not know that he was like victimized until I saw like two other videos about the whole thing, and then there was that one video breaking down Schlepp's history.
Predators on the platform. His
Y'all
attorney,
still alive
Stephen
over there?
Vanderpoorten, has filed more than 1,000 lawsuits alleging negligence on the part of Roblox. And we also talked to Detective Henrik Austin of the Marion County, Florida Sheriff's Office. He is investigating a number of other cases involving kids being exploited sexually.
It's still wild. This is the main person he's gonna be talking to. Police chief. This is in our county.
God.
Bro, it's in our backyard. Man, imagine. I could have been going to work one day and just happened to see Gideon walk up into somebody's house.
On Roblox. Take a look.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here today.
I have to talk to you about something very important. Do you know what Roblox is? Because if you don't, your children do.
I was just about to
Roblox
say. I bet you there's barely anybody fucking there that's actively playing Roblox.
is a multi-level gaming platform. In a way, it is a game within a game. It's marketed towards children, sometimes as an educational experience. But our investigation that we've been conducting for a number of months now for our streaming crime network True Blue has shown that in often times it is a playground for predators seeking to exploit children.
All done. So
we've been working on this for some time, and we've been incredibly fortunate to come across some key characters in our documentary who are joining us today for this session. And if you've been following this on social media, you will know this next young man I'm going to introduce, Michael Schlepp.
One of two.
Go ahead, Michael, have a seat. I like having to tell somebody to have a seat who's a good guy. Michael was a whiz kid.
I've only seen this man with the face mask on.
Was then targeted
and a
by
hat.
a predator, suffered the consequences, went on to be someone who tried to help Roblox focus on its predator problem. And how was he rewarded? By being banned. Michael is a key part of our investigation, as his attorney, Steve Vanderpoorten. Steve, come join me now, please. Steve is a lawyer based in Chicago. His firm is representing more than 500 cases of people like Schlepp. And we're also very fortunate to be joined by a dedicated detective, Henrik Austin, from the Marion County, Florida Sheriff's Department, with whom I've been working
wild.
on
This is in
very
my
investigation.
backyard.
Welcome, Detective.
This is in our backyard. Why couldn't he done it like 2 counties
Schlepp,
over?
let's start
Well,
with you.
because it's my county.
I'm gonna jump in the lead.
Yeah, we get to do Chris Hansen episode.
Bro, you sure you don't want you to stream this shit?
Tell me about your early experience on Roblox. Why did you enjoy interacting on the platform?
Well, Roblox, it was
because
advertised it was
ads.
a children's game, you know. It
Yeah,
Wait,
was
the
there's,
what?
like little Legos.
there's enough
You know,
I'm
I thought it
getting
conversation
was a
going on.
cool game,
by
and you know, I
ads.
played the
Ads?
game
How the
over
fuck?
We
years.
watch
And,
together.
I mean,
How the
you
fuck
know,
are there ads?
it evolved into
There ads on
me
this
like
shit?
taking it seriously,
Yeah, I
learning
believe so,
programming
yeah.
a little bit, and you know, I thought it was cool, but you know, it was pretty like crazy to see like
I mean, we just got an
I
ad,
guess
so.
I
how
had no
it
idea there were
evolved
even
from
ads on
something
here.
innocent to something really bad.
You were actually invited to be
Probably
part
would have
of
been
a
better to just watch it on
major
my
Roblox event
my
when
browser
you were, what, 11
because-
years old?
Yeah, yeah.
I got
Alright,
fucking
then.
ad block.
And, I helped him run a booth
Alright.
there. I was actually at 2 of them, so yeah.
I mean, at least they're
You
skippable
were a
ads, so
prodigy
it's
on
not like
Roblox.
we're just gonna have to sit there
Yeah,
for like a while. So
you could say that.
Alright, then let's stream it.
And there was
a
series of incidents.
Switch.
where a very well-known content
It's only
creator
5 minutes in.
targeted you.
Yeah.
Tell me what happened.
Yeah, so I met a very popular game developer, and you know, I thought that this guy was a innocent, you know, person. I thought he was a totally normal person, and you know, I looked up to him because he created a game.
He was a bit of a hero to you.
Yeah, he created a game that I really liked. You know, I was like, oh my gosh, he's talking to me, he's interacting with me. I'm just a little kid. I didn't think anything of it.
He's just a
And
wee
What was
lad.
created was this power dynamic where he was, you know, oh my gosh, this crazy developer. I looked up to him, and you know, I'm just a little kid, and you know, it evolved into him taking advantage of me, and it went on for years, and you know, eventually it resulted in me making an attempt on my own life.
You attempted to take your own life, and that breaks
Yeah.
my heart, and I'm sorry you had to go through that. No child should have to go through that. But you got through it
Yes,
with the help of your mother,
yes.
who we've met.
I do want to say the way
and-
that he said that like he feels so bad. It sounded so fucking sarcastic.
Yeah.
That's like that shit.
Bit of a hero to you.
Yeah, he created a game that I really
Like-
liked. You know, I was like, oh my gosh, he's talking to me, he's interacting with me. I'm just a little kid. I didn't think anything of it. And what was created was this power dynamic where he was, you know, oh my gosh, this crazy developer. I looked up to him, and you know, I'm just a little kid. And you know, it evolved into him taking advantage of me, and it went on for years. And you know, eventually it resulted in me making an attempt on my own life.
You attempted to take your own life, and that breaks
Yeah.
my heart, and I'm sorry you had to go through that. No child should have to go through
That
that.
shit sounds so
But you got
sarcastic.
through it
Yes,
with the help of your mother,
yes.
who we've met.
Yeah, and when I was in the hospital, my mom contacted Roblox about the stuff that happened to me, and they totally brushed her off. They totally just excused everything.
And I've seen the letter that they sent, the email that they sent, and it was basically call your local police department.
Yeah, pretty much. It was called a suicide hotline, which
Suicide hotline, yeah.
what is that going to do? You know, the email consisted of my child is in the hospital over a suicide attempt because of a game developer on your platform. So to send, here's a suicide
He said, "Here,
hotline.
take this phone number.
That's
We
just
can't help you."
ridiculous.
No action whatsoever.
No action.
Now
until
back
years
to
later
collecting
until
another
female
$250,000
developer came forward about her
off
experiences,
off
and only
big
then he
boob
finally got
implants on
moved.
Roblox
And Schlepp,
characters.
I want to talk in a moment about your recent activism and your work on the platform. But first, I want to hear from your attorney. Steve, this is one of more than 500 cases your firm is handling against Roblox.
Yes, that's correct. And first and foremost, we couldn't be prouder to represent Schlepp as one of our clients. But to your question, we now represent over 800, Chris, survivors with claims of sexual exploitation, grooming, extortion, and in the worst instances, sexual abuse and sex trafficking attributable to Roblox and to Discord, which is
Because there are large antiques in your area, there are drivers in your
Damn
area.
it.
just a shocking number of cases in and of itself. but we're one firm, and what we're finding is that this is really the tip
All right,
of the
yeah,
iceberg.
I'm getting
That
unskippable
there
ads.
are thousands of
Oh, you're getting
Oh
it.
my
Oh,
God,
so is it
another ad.
ads separately for you guys, or is it the same ads that I'm getting?
I'm not getting any ads. I don't know what's on here.
I just got an ad for the whatever It TV show.
All right, hold up. Alright, hold up. What time was it? We're on 8:04. Go back here.
And in the worst instances, sexual abuse and sex trafficking attributable to Roblox and to Discord.
Alright. Discord. Share screen. Alright, how do I exit the activity?
Wait, how do we cancel this watch this thing? Guess we'll just leave it.
Oh, leave
Oh,
activity.
it's just
steal
the
this.
activity.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yep.
Which is
Just for us.
just
Alright, hold up. Share screen, boop.
a shocking number of cases in and of itself, but we're one firm, and what we're finding is that this is really the tip of the iceberg, that there are thousands of survivors like Schlep. This is a game that's been around for 20 years, and we have clients who experienced extraordinarily traumatic events back when Roblox was first launched, and we have clients who were introduced to child sex predators on Roblox as recently as this past summer. So this is endemic at Roblox.
There is a case in which you are involved where a 13-year-old girl was groomed by a predator on Roblox. He then kidnapped her from her grandmother's home in Iowa, took her to Tennessee, where she was repeatedly exploited.
It is every parent's worst nightmare what
Just
happened
to fucking kidnap
one
like
of our
that
clients,
is wild.
a 13-year-old girl from Iowa, kidnapped in the middle of the night from her grandmother's home by somebody who she was introduced to in a Roblox game, sex trafficked across several states, went missing for 36 hours. The FBI got involved. Thankfully, she was able to escape and be reunited with her family. And Roblox is going to be rolling out all sorts of safety features and promoting all sorts of safety features that they're rolling out now. But what about her? And what about the lifelong trauma that she's going to experience as a result of the horrific incidents that happened this past summer?
And we're going to talk about Roblox's side of this during the course of this conversation as well. Detective Austin and I have known each other for several months. In fact, we recently completed a predator takedown sting in Marion County, Florida, with the sheriff's office there. But before we conducted the sting with this incredible team in Marion County, we had sat down and interviewed Detective Austin about his cases in Marion County involving Roblox. And listen to this for a second. Not only did they bust a 17-year-old with at least 15 victims, and we're going to talk about that in a second. But there's another case in Marion County.
No, I was live.
In this
I
one
just
county
didn't
in
post
Central
the link.
Florida, where a 10-year-old girl was victimized on Roblox by a man in England. So if those two cases
Cross country
come to our attention just in Marion County, Florida, what is happening in the rest of Florida? What is happening in the rest of the United States? What is happening in the rest of the world? Detective, tell me about this case where the 17-year-old was arrested and is now being prosecuted.
Yes, we received for those of you that don't know about NCMEC, National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, provided us with some information about someone that was believed to live within my jurisdiction, that they were engaging in quite a bit of exploitive, grooming behavior with children online, extremely sexually explicit conversations.
But basically, they're grooming these kids, or this guy was grooming these kids to actually act out sexually on themselves and other children, sometimes their siblings, correct?
That was exactly what happened. There were messages where this person was directing these kids to engage in sexual activity with their siblings. Executed a search warrant on the residence of the person I believed to be the predator, and met Christian Scribbin, who is a 17-year-old who, we had quite a conversation, and it was unbelievable to see his perspective and the scope of just what one 17-year-old person can do in a short amount of time.
We listened, and it will be part of our documentary on True Blue, to his conversation. He acted like this was no big deal to you.
Yeah, in his mind, he was not an adult, so this behavior wasn't going to be treated the same way. But I mean, when we talk about, two kids engaging in a certain type of conversation, that's concerning. But when we talk about predatory behavior, intentional concealing of your age, intentional seeking out of children every day, that's a much, much different story. And it was amazing to see his mentality on it.
Hey, Chris Hansen here, and let me tell you about a game changer I stumbled across while hunting for a new home office desk. I found this sleek mid-century modern piece online, perfect for recording the
Is this an
podcast.
ad?
$2,500 price tag.
It's his own ad, yeah.
I'm all about getting the real deal without overpaying, so when a friend mentioned dupe.com, I was intrigued.
You see it, man?
Typed in dupe.com / before the desk's URL, and boom, found a nearly identical desk from the same factory for $700. Dupe.com today.
I was skipping ahead. Fuck
Give
your
me
ad.
a sense for the damage, and you deal with these cases all the time, and I report on them, but you have to get into the nitty-gritty of it, and it's not pleasant.
It's not pleasant. I think the most unpleasant thing is the scope, is understanding the amount of cases just being reported it's unbelievable. The amount of work that has to be put into finding these kids and getting them out of these situations, it's immense.
You've identified 15 potential victims in this case so far.
Yes.
How much more is out there?
I can't speak specifically to ongoing investigations, but every time I think that I see the scope, right? Maybe it's this much, and I can't believe it. It appears to be more. It's very significant, very prevalent. Parents need to know what's going on.
Roblox has said that it is enhancing its age verification.
Didn't they raise that
and
to
make
like
it more
13
difficult
or something
for
like that?
predators to groom and exploit
With
children.
Roblox,
And the way this is supposed to work is when
the age checks, from what I know.
Let's see. Roblox.
Yeah, because on my account it just says I'm over 13.
Okay, so they changed it to 13 and older. So that means them 14 and up can get diddled on Roblox.
Roblox finds evidence of predatory behavior, the transmission of inappropriate material or inappropriate conversations, it's supposed to report it to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, which then refers these cases to law enforcement, like the Marion County Sheriff's Office. Is that the way this went down, basically?
Yes, in that particular case, that is the way.
I love how when I search this up,
Dealing
one
with
of the
Roblox.
things that shows up on the browser is the parent's ultimate guide to how to set up your kid's Roblox accounts.
Is enough being done, in your opinion, as a detective?
It's hard for me to know. I can speculate on exactly what's being done and what's not being done. I can say that when I had this particular case, I don't know if it was because of the media coverage it received or if it was for some other reason, but I did meet with Roblox over a Zoom call. I met with quite a bit of their outreach people, and we spoke about certain things that could change, things to take away from this particular case. I think until we can say that this is not happening anymore, enough is not being done.
Steve, one of the most
Which
alarming
it'll never
things
100%
that I
be
learned
done.
from your investigation into these cases, and you guys may know this, but there's a
There's going to be
currency
another
on Roblox called
unhinged person that's
Robux,
going to find another way around.
and kids can
It's just
buy
kind of more
into
of just
different
like make it harder
things
for
and
them
areas.
to
And
actually
Schleb, I'm going to
successfully
ask you
do
about
it.
this too after we talk to Steve. But you explained to me how child pornography is being traded on the
Like
platform
even Discord's to ban some
using
of the
this currency, and that
groups
Roblox
when they get enough
actually
reports in.
profits from this, whether it tries to or not, because it gets 30% of every transaction. Explain that to everybody here.
Yeah, so Roblox, they designed their game
Hey-o,
not only to be
Matt.
just wildly addictive for children, but they made it such that in order to have a satisfactory game experience, you want to try and acquire things through the Roblox store or use Robux to acquire things for your digital avatar. And so kids are constantly trying to acquire Robux, as a primary goal of playing the game. And what we've discovered, quite shockingly, is that yes, Robux takes a transaction fee from every Robux transaction, but some of those transactions are invitations or requests from child predators to exchange child sex abuse material. And it's just astounding that there could be a direct financial link between that kind of material and Roblox's bottom line.
Is this a case potentially of racketeering or being complicit in the transmission of child pornography?
I think that that there is certainly a benefit derived from the exchange of child sexual abuse material that Roblox receives. Whether this rises to racketeering, whether it rises to a crime, there's undoubtedly law enforcement out in the audience, possibly state's attorneys or district attorneys. I'm not a criminal attorney, and I'll leave it to them to make that determination. But there is a financial link, and that in and of itself is rather shocking.
Civil liability.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They made choices over the last 20 years with respect to how they designed their game. This is a children's game, and there is sexually explicit content in the game environments. I mean, take a step back and just think about that. In a game for kids, your kids could be exposed to sexualized content. And not only that, but they could be introduced to people who know through Robux and other ways that children are vulnerable to manipulation.
Hey, thanks for the follow,
and that,
Diabetic Noodle.
that they want these Robux to make these transactions, and we've just seen countless cases of kids get groomed and manipulated in this way. And again, this is a choice that Roblox made when they didn't decide to control this earlier. And so yes, we intend to hold them accountable for the choices that they've made over the years.
Young Schlep, what made you decide, and he deserves it, by the way, he deserves it. What made you decide to show this predatory activity that was going on Roblox? What made you become an advocate for this?
So I started out as just a normal Roblox content creator. I made games on like a really basic kids game. You would see it, you would not think there's any way predators could infiltrate
Appreciate
this game
the shout
or
out on your
anything
channel,
like that.
Matt.
And what I saw was there were people trying to do horrible stuff with children within this community, and it blew my mind. Like, because this is a community I really cared about, I was very involved in, and I would get emails from children saying, hey, there's this predator, he's messaging me inappropriately, and this is his Roblox account, can you do something? And there was really nothing I could do. But I mean, as time went on, these messages only just increased in volume, and then I created my current main channel, Schlep, and on that channel, it just exploded.
It's
I
like
was getting these emails
watching
more than
a
daily.
full thing of like r/nice guys and
at
nice
least
girls
6
when
different
looking at
predators
these like fucking pedo
on
chats.
Roblox. All 6 of which all 6 of whom were prosecuted by law enforcement. But you went to Roblox first.
So, yeah, we would find Roblox predators, and we would set up little decoy stings, and, you know, these predators would show up thinking that there was a child to engage in horrible activity with them, and we would sit down, we would have a conversation sort of similar to what you do, and, you know, they would...
By the way, I was 22 when I started as a television reporter. That's how old Schlep is now. Just saying.
How old is Chris
Yeah, we
Hansen
would talk to them, and a lot of times when the cops would show up, they would just admit to everything. Even after being Mirandized, they'd be like, yeah, I was here to do this. And they would just bring charges on them every single time.
And how did Roblox respond to this?
In multiple instances, after we got these felony arrests on child predators, we would send them the same Google Drives that we were sending to law enforcement, and they would not take action until after our videos would release, which would get millions of views.
You get millions of views on these videos.
Correct.
It can't be a proud moment for Roblox. It's somewhat embarrassing. What does Roblox do then?
I made it very clear to Roblox, you know, I was willing to handle stuff privately with them, and I just wanted to align to the company. After one of my first arrests, that was literally what I put out. I was victimized on this platform as a kid, and that I wanted a line.
Yeah, this
so
is
I could
about the
properly
Roblox thing,
communicate with
Matt.
them to report these individuals. And, you know, Roblox, they never gave me anything until what happened very recently.
Which was?
A cease and desist letter.
A cease and desist letter.
Chris
So get
Hansen's
this.
talking about the main
right.
dude that
Schlep,
has been going
doing
after
this
the
work,
Roblox predators.
Receives a
A
cease
cop
and
and a
desist letter
detective.
from Roblox.
No, a cop, a
essentially
detective, and a lawyer.
threatening
Hell
legal
yeah.
action.
Imagine
and
if Gideon was up
insinuating
here as
that
well.
he was breaking the law. And certainly breaking the terms of service
Gideon would be fucking nutting in his pants right now.
with Roblox.
That boy be
Steve,
bussin'.
we looked at this cease and desist letter during the course of our interview. I spent a whole day last week in Chicago at Steve's law office with him, his partner, Schlep, and Schlep's mom for our documentary on True Blue. And it was just an amazing and eye-opening experience, even for a journalist who's been doing this for 43 years. I mean, it's shocking
Damn, 43
that a corporate
years.
citizen would not seize on the opportunity to make him a part of the solution as to target him as a villain. Does this surprise you, Steve?
Hey, good shit, good shit.
It absolutely surprised
I mean,
all
it's
of us.
fair. Like,
they had an opportunity.
and it's not everyone that's out here playing the
to
game, but
make
it's more of
Schlep,
like just
a partner,
watch who they're
an
talking
ambassador of moderation of safety.
Watch the
Bunch
games
of
they play.
weirdos
And,
infiltrating.
Instead, what we're seeing is Roblox has its public-facing actions.
There ain't nothing
which
wrong with
are
actually
very,
playing
Roblox.
Roblox.
Flowery,
I
positive
mean,
statements
morally,
about everything it's doing
shouldn't
about
support it,
safety.
but
And behind the scenes,
there's nothing wrong with playing the
they're
game. It's just
trying
more
to
of just
silence
like
critics.
Roblox needs to do better with their
They
shit.
are removing content
But hey,
that
pedophiles
Schlep and
are making
others have
them a
identified
bunch of money.
from their platform to cover their tracks, and they are trying to move cases that have been filed, including cases that we filed on behalf of minor children, into confidential arbitration, where public
It
scrutiny
was like, what was
of
it?
the
One of the more
company,
recent Roblox
of
update
the
was you
choices
could
they made, of what they
report
knew.
somebody's outfit and it would like unequip everything that they had on. Yeah, you can report it for like inappropriate. And I think and then it's like supposed to like unequip everything that's on there. But I I forget the exacts on that one. Yeah, it puts the account in a pending review state. If the review is found valid, Roblox will force the user to unequip all clothing items and leave them with a base avatar for anywhere from 1 to 4 hours without being able to change their clothes.
Who, when they knew it, would be completely impossible.
Is this arbitration a normal part of dealing with a case like this, or is this a way to hush people?
It's a way to hush survivors of sexual assault, and it is unconscionable.
Just dying a little bit.
It's something that the United States Congress in 2023 decided through legislation that they were not going to permit forced arbitration of sexual assault cases. Unfortunately, that law is prospective only, so anything that would have happened before 2023, they're going to attempt to push it into arbitration. But it's not even just a question of law, because we're confident we're going to beat down the arbitration provisions, but it's a question of values for Roblox. What are Roblox's values?
Yeah, check them out.
They have core values that they represent to the
watch
public,
whenever I'm
and I can tell you, if you go look them up, they're the complete opposite of pushing minors into a confidential arbitration.
I try to stream more consistently.
Detective, and I don't want you to, obviously, I don't want to put you in a position to give away tradecraft, because this work you do is so critical and so important, and we've had the benefit of seeing you in action. But based upon your work, going after predators and people who exploit children, are you surprised at the level of predatory activity on this platform?
I'm getting close to like affiliate.
I'm not surprised based of how
I thought I
it is
already
set up.
had affiliate, but no, I
am
reached the requirements for
shocked
something
that
else.
It is there and that is continuing. I feel that there's specific things that, getting into tradecraft, I can't specifically talk about here, but very specific things that could be done that would be easy, that would quash a significant amount of it. I know that information has been relayed by myself and other investigators.
So you and other detectives have shared your thoughts about this based upon real-life investigative experience to the company, to Roblox.
Yes, and they've facilitated those interactions.
Right.
Which, on the one hand, that's fantastic. I meet with them, we talk about a few things, they say, okay, we'll have to get with our people. And then I'm at another interaction several months later, and the same things are brought up by other people.
3 viewers on 4 days,
the reaction
and
is the same.
these
are great ideas.
Good for
same people
affiliate.
I spoke to several months ago. I don't know what's happening behind the scenes. All I know is the grooming, the sexual exploitation of children is continuing.
It's continuing as we sit here on this stage, even though you and others have given suggestions, concrete steps to prevent it from happening.
Yes, I mean, where's the value? Is the value in allowing predatory creators to do what they want on the platform, or is in the value in maybe having less
100%.
creativity allowed by
If
predatory
I'm
creators
ever on the game, it's purely whenever I'm on with the other two in call.
Are we going to be part of the problem or the
mess
solution?
with it.
Because
I don't even interact
even
with
if we're saying we don't want to punish moderators on the platform,
any of the community
we don't want to
discords.
punish people, or be responsible for their actions. You still own the platform. This is Roblox. If something's happening on Roblox, and you know it's happening on Roblox, you have a responsibility to protect those who cannot protect themselves, because that's a significant amount of people on Roblox.
And I'll share with you at this point that we have reached out to Roblox for, comment on
they probably
the
didn't say
allegations
nothing
contained in our reporting for our documentary at True Blue. I'm hoping they will sit down with us. So far, that has not happened. They've offered to continue the dialogue off camera, but this is TV. So it raises the question.
Yeah,
Steve,
they're afraid. They don't want to be challenged on this
a company
publicly
conceivably want predators on its platform. Who benefits from that?
It is the reality that anything that limits user engagement, anything that limits or constrains the number of users that Roblox can say that they have or can have, will limit their and affect their bottom line. And they're a publicly traded company, and they
Crash
have
them Roblox stocks.
demands.
Make
of
them
course,
feel the
as all
financial
companies
pain.
do, but to
Don't actually do that. That
officer's
shit will
point,
get you
it's a calculus that they have to make, and
investigated.
right now they're making the wrong one, which is they're going to maximize their usership as much as possible, regardless of the consequences.
If you follow Schlep on social media and on his YouTube, you will see him expose some of these games in areas of Roblox that are, racy, questionable, that are accessible to 5-year-olds.
Yeah, I mean, Roblox, as of this exact moment, has smash or pass games that 5-year-olds can play.
What is a smash or pass game?
If you're willing to
Oh
smash
God,
someone or pass
that was the
sexually.
most
yeah, pretty much,
grandpa-ass question. So Jimmy, why don't you explain to me what a smash or pass is? Because back in my day, that was smash a watermelon and pass it to the homies so they can get in trouble. Like, I fucking love it when there's questions like that because it just.
They allow games like that 5-year-olds can access.
So there are avatars that people create, and 5-year-olds can participate in smash or pass?
And the most disturbing part, they can play with like 45-year-olds in that same lobby.
Who is in these groups, these games?
I would love to know. I absolutely
The
would love
horny
to know who
elites
is,
of the world.
participating and creating, and I mean, it's really.
But what is the purpose of something like this?
I don't know, but I find a really interesting thing right now is that while we're sitting here on this panel, the CEO of Roblox is at a convention called the Roblox Developer Conference speaking probably about safety and how safe their platform is. And, you can go onto Roblox and find this stuff right now. Like, it's super ironic, and that's really like one thing the community really saw through with all the statements they were putting out. I mean, they were claiming all this stuff about safety, but the average user sees all this stuff. They know what's going on.
Did Roblox try to silence you?
Yes, I whistleblowed on their predator problem, and they took action against me. And it wasn't even like, they specifically made it that I cannot even play on their platform anymore. Like, they made it so I can't create new accounts. So it was very strategic in why they did that. If they genuinely cared about this, they would have reached out to someone like
720.
someone who has been victimized on this platform, who's trying to make it better.
What does that say about the corporate culture at Roblox?
Honestly, I don't even know. It really is disturbing. I think that's the only way you can put it as. It's very disturbing, and I mean, I wonder if like these corporate executives would let their kids play these sort of games.
1,000% no.
It's an interesting question, isn't it?
They probably got the blocked pages on their.
Detective, what do you say based
Out of
on
control,
everything
trying to
you've
put me
learned,
over
everything you
on the
know
work to
about the
Roblox.
activity on this platform? What do you say to parents?
Fucking CEO of
I'd say
Roblox
that
kid is
there are
probably like,
individuals,
yo,
a
I can't wait to
significant amount of
play some
individuals
Roblox.
on
Get the
that
fuck off
platform
that.
who
I want you
have
getting
a
raped.
obscure sexual interest in the violation of innocence. And I would say, with that being the case, if it was my children, I would not put them on there. It's unavoidable that they will encounter sexual themes at the very least. It's so rampant because of creativity, right? And that's what we love about children, is that they are creative and they are curious. But with those two things comes a horrible, we'll call it a brew, where these predators can exploit both of those.
Confluence.
Exactly. And so where it stands now, Roblox is inarguably not safe for children.
Now, explain to me the relationship between Roblox and Discord and how that is another danger zone for children on
Darkwing
the platform.
Duck, let's get dangerous.
Without getting into too much, we deal with, there are certain features in place that Roblox does do, right? It's very difficult to share any sort of media on the platform. So when we talk about having open conversations, that also can't happen because of certain algorithms in place. So what predators will do is they will move children. So they'll go to the place where the children are, right? Think of it like going to the park. Roblox is the park. They'll go to the park, they'll find the children, specifically in places where exploitable children might go, playing certain games and in certain communities, and then they will move them to Discord. And in Discord, it is very easy to get away with a lot of things, to speak about things very plainly, to share media very plainly in these servers where you can create a server.
I don't know how long
That's what it's
ago
called,
before the
where
date
you
of this
set it up to
recording,
look as one
Roblox,
thing, and
not
then
Roblox,
once someone gets a
Discord
certain
did
role, you can
like,
view these hidden rooms.
start
and these
cracking
hidden
down
rooms,
like even
the grooming
more
can take
on
place, the extortion can take place, the direction to
servers
produce
and
child
stuff.
sexual abuse material does take place, and that is a significant theme I have seen throughout several cases, both active and closed.
And Steve, is there a business relationship between Roblox and Discord?
Yes. They share a user base. After years of Roblox essentially banning references to Discord, they did a complete 180, and now you can link your Discord account in Roblox and a whole bunch of other off-platform social media
Did not know
accounts.
that, but I did know you could link like your Facebook
Roblox
and
has a
stuff
bot
to it.
on Discord. They have a symbiotic relationship, Chris, and they've known about the issues
I don't know
with
who would
Discord.
link
I
their
think
Facebook
everybody
to
has,
Roblox.
and
It's
they've
probably the same
decided
people
that
who are linking
rather
their Discord to
than
it.
prevent their users from being able to be moved off platform, they're going to make it easier. And there's no other way to look at their relationship as one of business.
Now, Discord has said recently that it's changing some of the access rules to 17 and above for some of these different sites. Yet it still appears, and Schlepp just spoke to this, that kids as young as 5 can access these areas, some of which have very adult, explicit conversation, themes, and activities.
I mean, it's like those bathroom
Yeah,
simulators.
I mean,
they
just
dress up
recently, Roblox announced that they were going to limit chat function for anyone under the age of 13. But that still leaves 13-year-olds with the ability to chat with complete strangers. And going back to our case in
I forgot. Zero, you probably remember. You remember what the one tag in Roblox was that some people put in them? It was like rule something.
Rule 34. That's the only truly degenerate thing I remember. I can think of.
I don't exactly know, because with Roblox, things are always shifting, and they're either just always adding literal buzzwords to things, or it's just completely random things.
And then I remember, I think it was on a previous Schlepp video, that he called out like a specific tag that was going around at the time. It was like, it wasn't Rule 34, because that was just an obvious one, but it was like a parody of Rule 34 that was... I don't know. I don't remember it.
Iowa, that's a 13-year-old girl right there.
Well, in our experience with our takedown predator investigations, the key targets are 13, 14, and 15 years old. So what does it achieve by having age verification for somebody who's 13?
Nothing. They don't want to take real action, because they know that when they take real action, it's going to affect the bottom line.
And I just want to let you guys know that we're going to save a little time at the end to take some questions. So in a few minutes, if you want to start lining up the microphones, if you have specific questions for anybody on the stage here, feel free to do so.
Shop is probably going to get like a shit ton of questions.
What's the most shocking thing you've seen on Roblox? And people ask me that all the time about the Predator investigations. I always say, well, it's a 100-way tie for first. But give these folks some examples of the things that you've come across that are just wholly inappropriate for children.
I saw a community on Roblox. These are called MAPs, minor attracted people.
Yeah, and that's exactly where I was going with this. Go on.
Yeah, it was a community of these people. They were organized, like it was a network where the whole thing was to trade child pornography for Robux. And
for Robux.
Yeah,
which
Roblox.
Is the currency we talked about earlier.
Yeah. And, you know, it was literally you go into the group, you'd see all these people, add me, I'm a map, and just like these people were using it to do that.
I did not know this was going on. I honestly thought he was going to loop this back to when Twitter had the mega links fiasco. Where people were asking for mega links and it was all CP. I thought that was going to link to. I did not know people were trading for that on Roblox.
You know, I sent a report to Roblox
for Robux,
regarding it,
but I'm not surprised.
Nothing happened. Like I sent a proper support ticket to them, and then I went on to The Sun and I talked about it there, and then finally action got taken.
So for anybody who doesn't know, MAPS stands for Minor Attracted Person, which is dog whistle for stone cold pedophile and trader of child pornography.
They tried to get that shit into the LGBT, and they said,
known
nah,
to the
fuck
people
out
who
of
run the
here.
platform.
Oh, absolutely. And I think the most disturbing part, which you guys touched on a little bit, was how Roblox is profiting off of it. It's not actually 30%, it's actually more like 70% because there's a marketplace fee, and on top of that, there's a developer exchange fee. So they're taking a lot of that money in, which, I mean, that's just insane.
I never bothered looking into that one, but I did hear about it. It's like 60 or 70%
knowingly allow
of is what they take
child
from that.
pornography to be traded on its platform. Number one, but number two, to profit from it.
Let's see, how large is Roblox's cut for this? Roblox cut on sold items. Okay, so revenue is split 30% to the trader, 40% to the seller affiliate, 30% to Roblox for a platform fee, which results into a totaling 70% cut. And if somebody else sells the item, it's a 10% commission. So that's where that last bit of percentage.
It's abhorrent.
It's interesting because if this was Disney or any other company doing something like this, I mean, it would be the #1 thing everywhere. But it's very interesting to see how a lot of this has been covered up, and I think a lot of that is because Roblox is trying to suppress a lot of this information from coming out.
Steve, Roblox may say, look, the predators are the criminals here. The traffickers in child porn are the criminals here. They're just using our platform, our super highway, where we also have legitimate games, educational products, and things that really are good and engaging for children. It's not our fault that these evil people are exploiting something that we conceived that is educational and appropriate.
Then unban Schlepp and
well, I think that they have an obligation, and this is part of the claims we assert in our lawsuit, but they have heavily engaged in marketing and advertising campaigns, to the detective's point, advertising this game as not only safe, but as educational. And if they're aware of these risks and withhold them from the public, they're deceiving the public about what this game really is and what the consequences are. But separate from that, I disagree with the premise that they have no responsibility for what goes on their platform. They're profiting
Yeah, they
from
can't
it.
say that they just have no
designed
responsibility.
They employ hundreds of monitors, allegedly, to try and detect it. And they have these reporting functions, which Schlep and other people will tell you are completely flawed and completely ineffective.
Damn straight.
So I reject the premise that they can throw their hands up and say, we're just providing a marketplace for this abhorrent behavior and we don't have any obligation to protect the fundamental group who we advertise this to, which is children.
Detective, one of the most alarming things to me, just taking a look at the few cases that we're aware of and looking at in your county in Florida, the one case where the 10-year-old girl was victimized, the mother, who's a very good human being, solid parent, homeschools the child, did not allow her 10-year-old to go on Roblox. The 10-year-old, based upon intel gathered from her older siblings, was able to access Roblox without the parent knowing. And then was groomed into a conversation by a predator in England, right? Half a world away. And she didn't find out, the parent didn't find out about all this until she oddly got a notice on an Instagram account that she no longer used from this predator trying to reach out to the 10-year-old daughter. So here's a parent who's very vigilant, and her child still was targeted here.
Nope.
What does that say to you?
It says that it can happen to anybody. It can happen to anyone's children, even people who think their children aren't on the platform. The allure is so alluring, right?
Shit, even if they ain't getting on
children
Roblox,
love Roblox.
they're probably getting
to be
traffic
extremely
somewhere else.
Enjoyable, addicting, whatever you want to call it, to them, and they want to go play on Roblox. The problem lies in whether or not Roblox is safe. If you have the knowledge that something is not safe, and you know that something is happening, you have the responsibility. I'm not a lawyer, but morally and ethically, you have a responsibility to do something about that. This mother, she saw what was happening to her 10-year-old child, who, by the way, was promised Robux over and over for the production of child sexual abuse material. She turned everything over, did everything she could. It's just horrible to see. I mean, this isn't just children who are given a tablet and no attention that are being exploited. This is so many children in the best circumstances, in the worst circumstances, and everything in between.
All right, let's take some questions from folks in the crowd, and it's a little
No,
hard for
let's
me
hear
to
these
see you,
saucy
so if I call
questions.
you sir instead of ma'am, please don't get mad at me. We'll start over there. Sir.
Sure, no problem. Chris, thank you. I had a question, really a two-part question for anyone, but mainly a Schlep. A lot of your supporters online have made allegations about the chief executive of Roblox. Many of them have falsely claimed, without any evidence, that he himself is a predator. Do you think that that's harmful to your mission, to see a lot of the internet trolling that has supported your movement and understands what your mission is? But when you start calling someone falsely a predator, like the chief executive of Roblox, do you think that's harmful? And then could you maybe all speak about, it's maybe not necessarily very older folks on these platforms like Roblox. It's a lot of older teenagers and young adults that are doing the grooming, and that are, when you look at what a predator looks like, it's a lot of older teens themselves possibly that grew up using Roblox and then turn themselves into the groomers of children.
I think
children.
That's an excellent.
I mean, you ain't wrong. If you just out here calling random employees, like, groomers, rapists, all that kind of stuff, that it's just gonna make them
I
like less likely
I
to want to do something.
say the most that you should call out is with, I think, was the chief safety one and the CEO, because I think the chief safety one, some of the games that people were trying to point out that had like these type of people in them, he had badges in,
Oh yeah,
but
yeah,
the
yeah.
games were still up, and the CEO, if it was him, going on about like how he was trying to make Roblox more generalized, add like dating features and so on.
Yep, there was that whole thing that he posted that on his like thing, and then not only on top of that one, when Schlep and a couple creators went to directly DM the CEO, they all got blocked within the day. Um, would try to bring up the situation directly to them. So like the guilty ones based off actions are those two. Was a chief safety officer, the CSO, and the CEO. And there's probably like actual employees that are doing it, but unless you have like ways to actually pin it and say that yeah, that specific employee can do it, like you said, you can point that out to the safety officer who got badges in some of those games. Like,
Excellent question, and you know exactly what he's getting to because that's the way the internet goes. You take something that's very positive and it spins too far.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Go ahead.
I totally denounce that. I think that's just really not made. Like, these people at the end of the day, they're trying to do their jobs, and I think that trying to push for safety and like trying to get Roblox to do stuff, that's the right way to approach this sort of stuff. But yeah, I agree with you.
Making false allegations is not the way to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we can all get on board with that. And in terms of what he said about the
that actually goes back to even Schlepp's video when he was calling out the CEO about it. Like, he never directly like called the CEO like anything directly, but definitely left the question lingering over there. Some people probably definitely started calling uh the other employees that, just purely based off that assumption. That's 100% a thing.
demographic of the
Yeah, he
predator, I mean,
fall
that's
asleep.
exactly what we saw in one of
Damn.
your cases. This guy was
Hey,
17 years
just
old.
for
Now, I
that,
would
I don't
argue,
want to hear
what's the
shit
difference in
about
damage caused
yesterday.
between a 17-year-old and a 37-year-old? They're adults
I'm
and should know
muting
better.
his ass.
But
He
based
could,
on
he
what
could
you're
even
saying,
be
do you
bothered to
think that
just
this
say,
is
yo,
in
I'm
some cases,
feeling
a
tired.
younger, albeit adult
Chris Hansen put his
profile
ass
of a
to
predator?
sleep.
Yeah, a lot of the predators
Roast the
are
fuck
like
out of him.
20 to 30 years old, which, I mean, a lot of predators that do get caught in general are much older than that. But at the end of the day, they're still adults. They're taking advantage of people.
There are studies that show
Lord.
that
I'm gonna lower his volume
when
to see if he
children
actually
are
wakes up.
exploited as children, they're more
But-
likely to exploit others
No,
as
get
they
out.
get older. It's a sad study. It's
This is
a
what happens
cycle.
when you're,
But to this audience member's point, these are
a
people who
snake
grew up
girl
playing
enthusiast.
Roblox, and if they were exposed to this sexualized content, then they may think it's appropriate when
And it
it's not.
desensitizes
Yeah.
danger, too.
Correct.
It's an excellent question. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Schlepp, my son has had me obsessed with this all summer, and we've signed the petitions. So I just wanted to say to you, thank you very much for being an excellent example to a 14,
The movement to the
15-year-old.
Pentagon.
There's a lot of really,
Yeah, he wakes up,
really
he can come
bad
back to the channel.
examples for young men out there, and I wish more people were like you to be really good examples for them. And I have a question for the lawyer. I have a non-binary kid who was groomed on Discord when they were going through the pandemic, and it didn't go that far where they were taken from the home or anything, but I had to put them in therapy. So I'm wondering if you're only pursuing things that happened because of Roblox, or if you're looking at cases outside of Roblox grooming, or how far you're going with things.
Yeah, we are certainly looking at Discord and at cases that involve only Discord. And I've sat with countless parents.
Only Roblox, you mean?
Oh, no, we're looking at Discord-only cases as well. So if you want, you and I may be able to connect after this, but
Okay.
and I'd be happy to talk more with you about it. But
Okay.
I've sat with countless parents like yourself during the pandemic when kids were home. These games
I definitely
exploded,
say, yeah, the
and,
pandemic
these
definitely,
parents
like,
now feel incredibly
accelerated
guilty because
the
their
shit
children were
out of
playing them in their living
online
room right with
groomers.
them, and they had no idea. So we can talk after this.
I would love that. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, first of all, I want to thank all of you for this incredibly important work, but especially Schlepp, because you're the only one who this isn't your job. You took it on as your mission, and you spoke truth to power.
Very true.
And that's really just incredible to see. My question is, so far, nothing you've said about what Roblox puts up as a roadblock, see what I did there, is the difficulty of stopping this behavior. And the fact that they shut you down completely in an instant tells me they have the capabilities, and you're also giving them, the people. So how are they possibly hiding behind anything along the lines of, this is out of our hands, this is something we can't do?
Yeah, I find that very interesting you bring that up, because when all this news broke about what happened with me in Roblox, people in games started making these little free Schlepp protests, and Roblox started shutting that down. They started banning the
They
games.
were going.
Streamers
They were
were
trying to
playing
go
it,
scorched
and,
earth on that
it
shit.
raises an interesting question. Why aren't they doing that to these predators? I mean, that's, it shows they've had the capabilities this entire time to do this, but now they're taking it against people that are actively showing against
Tell them
them.
about the T-shirts.
Oh yeah, people are making free Schlepp T-shirts, and
So Roblox on the Roblox platform, you can buy a free Schlepp T-shirt,
yeah,
and they're taking a cut of it, but he can't get on Roblox.
yeah, yep,
You can't make this up.
yeah.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
I was just wondering if the FBI can be involved, or is there going to be a class action lawsuit? I think sending child porn over the internet, isn't that considered an FBI type crime? And also,
I think 100% it is.
if any of these cases are in separate states, would you guys ever be considering doing a class action lawsuit or something like that? If there's not, I just was wondering if there is a way to get Roblox shut down, or at least to get them to respond in a way that you would like to be more positive, instead of shutting down Schlepp and all of that, instead of all of these predators.
Definitely think people should be spamming the
that'd be a
FBI
great question.
Yeah, I
hotline.
think that's a good Steve question there. I mean, what would represent justice in these 500-plus cases that you...
I mean, let's start with the premise that nobody here is trying to kill Roblox or shut it down. We're trying to improve it. And what accountability looks like is that they need to remedy every individual person who has been harmed on their platform. To your question about a class action, it's unlikely it would be a class action. There's possibility that the cases would get consolidated into a single state, or that a single judge would end up handling all the cases. Right now, there are cases filed in every state, so that hasn't happened yet. But I would say that that's more likely where this case would go, as opposed to filing a class action, just because the individual stories and the damages suffered are quite distinct. But in terms of the FBI, I really don't know the answer to that.
Imagine having to be
but
the dude,
it's
the judge
it's something that
that's gonna have to handle
we think that public officials
500
should be
plus
looking at.
Roblox
And so if you
cases.
feel like it's something that is important
And,
to you, and you feel like Roblox
300
shouldn't be
plus some
forcing
odd
minor survivors
Discord
into confidential arbitration, we'd ask that you go home and write your congressperson about it, because we can only do so much, but Congress people should listen to their constituents.
And I think it's important to remember that law enforcement is, I mean, this gentleman on the end here spends every waking hour at his job investigating the exploitation of children, whether it's on Roblox, or whether it's on any other platform. That's his mission in life. You know, and there's a Detective Austin in every sheriff's office, every police department in the nation. So, you know, people are looking at this. It's just such an overwhelming issue. I mean, just from announcing that we're doing the documentary on True Blue, it's difficult to keep up with everybody who's reaching out to us. We're trying our best, but this is not going to be a one-time documentary. This is a new series for us. There's so much there. But it's a great question, and we appreciate it.
Looking forward to it. And Chris, how could you be doing this 43 years?
That
when you're
answer
only 40?
screamed. That answer from Chris Hansen screamed. Yeah, we're out here helping the people, but I can't wait on how much fucking money I'm gonna be making. Exposing Roblox. I'm about to cut the biggest check in my career since To Catch a Predator.
Good product. That's what it is. Good product. Yes, ma'am.
Hi there. If Roblox has not, they have not yet. I think they will rue the day that they permanently banned you and started the domino fall of the free schlep movement. I think what y'all are doing is incredible work. My question for y'all is, where do you think Roblox's biggest failure in their mod system is?
Oh man, I think personally it is the games that they're allowing. I mean, any parent can just look at this game, be like, oh, this is a horrible game. My kid should not play this. 5-year-olds shouldn't be able to play this. Anybody can look at a game and tell you, oh yeah, I can join within 4 seconds and see inappropriate content. But what's fascinating is when the CEO responded to all of the stuff regarding vigilantes, he named a game specifically where you would join, you would instantly see inappropriate stuff. And he doubled down on that game. And so did all the chief safety officer and all the other people. So it really comes down to the fundamental basis that these people that are high up at the company don't see the same value like you and I would in these games that obviously shouldn't be on the platform, shouldn't be on the platform. And that's where a lot of exploitation that I've seen has been taking place in.
Like
Well
Geek
said.
City in the bathroom, all the public restrooms.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, that to me is
so
shocking. I mean,
yeah.
For people who don't know, speak to that briefly.
Yeah, so Roblox allows games called public bathroom simulators where you can shower with children. Like literally shower with children. There's naked avatars. They have custom avatar editors where you can make naked avatars. And Roblox, for the longest of time, up until all this new controversy, has repeatedly been doubling down on these sort of games. And every content creator on Roblox has been speaking out against it. One of the largest content creators, Creekcraft, left the Star Creator program, which is Roblox's influencer program, because Roblox was hosting these games. So, they're very aware of these games. And, I mean, to anybody, they can tell you this shouldn't be
some
on
of their
kids'
developers
games.
went to
But
straight up
Roblox, they see it
conventions
differently.
sponsored
All
by
right, we've got time
Roblox.
for a couple more. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I was just wondering if you could maybe speak to how other creative sandbox like Minecraft compares to Roblox. Is it more because of the Robux incentives and those sorts of things that makes it more appealing?
Schlep, you speak to that. You're more in touch with it than I am.
Say Minecraft?
Minecraft.
Yeah. So I think the difference is Roblox is just a fundamentally different game. There is cases of exploitation on Minecraft, but Minecraft is just totally set up as an entirely different game. I mean, the thing with Roblox is they're hosting these communities where people trade and exchange child pornography. And I mean, that's something you don't see necessarily on Minecraft, at least I haven't. But Roblox has a vast issue with it. And I think the way they have accounts set up and Roblox's currency and in-game rare items, it all contributes to a culture which, allows power and, people being taken advantage of.
So it is more incentivized.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I just want to thank.
Honestly, he's kind of half right.
Thank all of you.
The main difference is, while you can technically get the same kind of outcome going on Minecraft base does not have the same social outreach a game like Roblox does. Like it's Roblox is fundamentally a chat room that has games as optional things.
Yeah.
Minecraft is like a game first, but a chatbot that looks like it's cake that they ripped it straight out of command prompt. It's not until you start looking at like dedicated communities like Minecraft SMPs and stuff like that that's when you if you specify that the Venn diagram gets a little closer between Roblox and Minecraft. But Minecraft as a whole, like nah. Most of the problems with Minecraft is usually the popular creators and some of the SMP servers.
And
Well,
even then, with Minecraft, depending on because it's also completely different just from how the platforms are. Because Minecraft, usually with Minecraft, either like you're gonna see something where you want to join something because you saw a content creator do it, or you are just in a small group with your friends. If not, you're playing alone.
yeah. Roblox, you don't even need that starting connection point. You can quite literally just download it, and you'll eventually get there. You can start playing fucking anime fighting games in there, and then like a couple days later, next thing you know, you got some dude hit you up saying, "Yo, what's your age? What you said 12? Yo, here's this public bathroom game.
It's literally.
You want to see my Roblox penis?"
And another thing is, it's pretty bad because, like, with Roblox, there's just overall a ton of fucking weirdos on there where you're either just dealing with normal ass weird people because I can actually say this since I do have like a Miku fan naturally have to have a Hatsune Miku avatar
Yep.
where just because dad it's I join a game, look at a play. Next thing you know, you got either someone trying to hump the avatar, kids game by the way,
Yeah.
or next thing you know, or someone's just going up talking crazy and just saying some weird shit.
Bro, I was
Said,
waiting for you guys to get on one time because we were gonna play Roblox, and I got into one of those survival like obby games to just to like kill time while I was waiting for you. There's quite literally like somebody who had like an avatar that made them look like one of those like bimbo chicks.
Yeah.
And then and then there was a dude that was just talking mad crazy shit.
Thankfully, that stopped, but with the initial wave of it, where no matter what you did, if you were to go on the market, you'd see things like that. No, and it didn't help that, like, simultaneously as that went on, you had both the, like, bimbo style avatars and the femboy ones just going on, where it's
Yep.
like, okay, what's the purpose of this game again?
And I think
And
and there is actually one thing that I don't know if he's gonna get to it, but I know some people have asked people to hide their favorite games because I know you can check on a Roblox profile what people have set up as like their favorite game.
mm,
They may not do it anymore, but I remember that was a thing.
For being here and like raising the awareness to this. Schlepp, my 9-year-old son, plays Roblox and he follows you, so he's very aware of what's been going on. And I just want to thank you because he's aware of these things. But I guess my question is, you had said that if you had kids, officer, that you wouldn't let them on the platform. So
I mean, Schlepp, you were a kid. If your mom said, "Okay, you can't play that anymore," your world would fall apart. So, what should we as parents do, with our kids? Because if I go home and tell them Schlepp said you shouldn't play this game
They'll
anymore,
listen.
I'm
They'll
pretty
listen to
sure
us.
he
They'll
just
listen to
wouldn't.
Schlepp. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that. I think the most
And
important thing is parental supervision. If your kid
yeah, that one I get, cause a few months ago the issue did get pretty bad, and I think the whole like weird avatar thing was still going strong. So like, because I just knew that shit, the most I could do for like, because a lot of times friends come in and they're just like, oh, where's the Roblox cards? Where's the Roblox cards? Or they send their kid out to ask, and the kid's like fucking 8 or something. All I could do was just try to get them off the game, bro.
Yeah.
Like, with what's going on there, I can assure you they should not be playing that game right now.
Yeah, because the weird avatars, that's just like one thing, and then you got all the different games, you got all the code words. It just becomes one of those stacking things where it's just like, yeah, it gets harder and harder to even recommend the game right now because the fucking moderation team isn't doing shit.
Literally.
And even the people, even then, most of the people that are on like Roblox's like ban list, most of them are just cheaters or scammers.
Yeah.
I want to say like 99% of the people in the public's Roblox ban list is just that. I think there's like 3 or 4 people that are actually there for being predators, and I think one of them recently came off the list. What was it? The Robotnik or whatever it was.
Yeah, it's just awful.
Wow, that he named himself after a great professor. It's some insanity. It's some insanity.
kid is on the platform, you need to see who they're interacting with and talking to. You need to be educated on the platform. And the parental features, they are not the best, but they're something to definitely look into. From the last I saw, Roblox only allows
parental
you to block
features
100 games on the entire
ass.
platform.
They're
But
there
which, should be
just to
unlimited.
meet
You
a
should be able
legal
to block as many
requirement
games as you want.
most of the time.
So, yeah, I definitely think that,
or because of some
parental
controversy.
supervision and the parental controls are stuff to look into. Yeah, for sure.
Fostering a culture of openness about what is happening on media and fostering a culture within the home that there is not privacy on their device. And it's not because they're bad, it's not because they're in trouble, it's because that's the world we live in. There will not be privacy for someone's child on that device, right? That is the best culture to have in the home. That's where I see the cases that would have gone way further. They don't happen because the child says something really embarrassing happened to me today, and they understand it's not their fault, right? That culture in the home it's so important, and that will stop a significant amount of this from happening.
And I agree.
I agree and disagree with that statement. I think it is perfectly fine to give them like their privacy on like some things. Depending on the age of when they're interacting with this kind of stuff, like it kind of more frames the question. I think like the older they are, the less you need to. But I personally think like some parents ought to be still monitoring people even until they're 18s.
It for me, I'd say it depends on some things. Age is something that would like go on, but I feel like just time with the app should also save, because you can monitor them for a while with certain things, but I'd say like if it's been proven to be like relatively fine for about like 1 2 years maybe, then all right, you could probably just start using golf because they probably like know.
Yeah.
But at the same time, just like continue making sure like yeah, you are making sure to be smart about the people you're talking to, right? You're not doing anything like this or anything like that.
Shit, in a scenario like this one, just checking like their recent games and stuff like that. Like just go see what their like more recent games that they played were on, and if you start seeing some sus stuff, you just start talking to them about it. Like if you know like your kid is out here playing like anime rumble games, and then out of nowhere you check their device and they got the public bathroom. Yeah, you should start questioning that, because clearly they started talking to somebody, or they saw somebody else talk about it and they got curious, and now they're starting to fall down that rabbit hole.
I mean, no matter how many stories we do or episodes we do, these guys aren't going away, right? I thought we'd do the Predator investigation 3 times and who would show up. Well, here we are 21 years later, and plenty of people are showing up. So, you know, you got to tell your kids there are adults online who want to trick them. Kids don't like to be tricked. And if you don't know somebody in real life, you don't know them online. And that's where it starts. And I've interviewed too many people who've lost kids to suicide because of sextortion. And all they had to do was come to their parents and say, look, I messed up, you know.
Yeah.
And grandma's not
Yeah,
gonna
make your
care
kid
if a
comfortable
silly
to
picture
come
of
to
is
you
on the
about
internet. And those kids will be alive
if they're
today.
worried, if they're
Thank you.
freaked out about some parents
Yes,
are
ma'am.
just ass
Thank you
on
all
doing
for being
that.
here. My question you touched on a little earlier in terms of something that's been in the media a lot this year. Legislation's getting involved in multiple countries about age verification and it being applied widespread across the internet. But my question here is specifically in situations like Roblox, Discord, social media, how is verifying your age of the person who owns the account actually going to do anything to prevent the kind of situations that kids are getting into and falling prey to on these platforms? Because I know there's also situations outside of Roblox on other platforms where this also happens. Like, how is this widespread move towards age verification just to get an account actually going to affect using the platform?
Schlep.
Yeah. I personally think that these age verification stuff, I mean, I think it's needed, but it's not the solution. The thing with this is, like, you can read journalists as they look into Roblox games that have, 17 plus. They'll talk like, I joined a lobby and half the people in there were children, very obvious children. So people are grabbing their parents' IDs and somehow verifying, or they're using their siblings' accounts, and that has led to actual real cases of kids being abducted. There was a 10-year-old in California who was abducted off of a 17 plus Roblox game. So clearly these age verification stuff, it is something that
Pause
is
real quick.
needed, but
Hold up,
I don't
yeah.
necessarily think it's an overall.
Dude, what you got?
Yeah, so when that fucking shit first came out, the age verification things, that was super easy to get past, because literally how it went was, as long as you had some sort of an ID they could use, you were just gonna go. So I think when it first released, half the people that got on and just was quick to be able to get voice chats, they were literally using the McLovin ID.
McLovin verified the next wave of the groomed. And you would think like at some point they just started like banning the accounts that did that. Like if you verified it with like an obvious fake ID, like the McLovin ID or something like that. Like at some point, like somebody in like the behind the verification software,
It's gonna start seeing the same ID and it's just, oh shit.
and honestly, they need to start banning the accounts. Like everyone who verified up the McLovin ID, banned. Oh no, it's another popular like fake ID that just floats around the internet. I can't really think of anything else at the moment. But yeah, people who did that shit, 100%. Imagine some person used the Imperial ID from fucking Star Wars.
Raw solution. I think the solution is really better safety and moderation on their platform.
Okay, thank you.
I want to thank you all very much. I'm getting the hard rap now sign. Flep, thank you. Steve, thank you. Henrik, thank you very much. How lucky are we to have this panel to kick off PrimeCon?
There is so much more to this story, so many other victims of sexual exploitation. And what is Roblox doing to combat this? It's all going to be the subject of a new investigation, a documentary we're putting together, myself and my streaming crime network, True Blue. You'll see that out in the very near future. In the meantime, I'll see you next time on Have a Seat with Chris Hansen.
Yeah. Not a bad video. It was a bit dull. Whatever. I'm gonna live stream the documentary. Oh, the next thing that pops up on my thing is more people talking about Sora AI. That shit's gonna get shut down for like a week. Let's see. Doesn't look like there's anything else going on relating to it. I was gonna end the stream on that. Alright. We'll probably hit the stream again tomorrow night. Actually, stream playing games. Probably if we play some World War. Actually, no. Isn't the new Gekishin Squadron update coming out like tomorrow or something?
Will be later.
That might be what I'd live stream tomorrow.